Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister with Pathways of Light and a Course in Miracles student. I've been studying the course for many years now. And for a number of those years, I've been going through the daily lessons every year. I do it just because I love them. One of the things that I do is I read the lesson, and then I ask Jesus to help clarify it for me, to show me what it is that he wants me to know this time, what it is that might be helpful to me in my practice. And so today we're going to look at A Course in Miracles, lesson 322. I can give up but what was never real. I sacrifice illusions, nothing more. And as illusions go, I find the gifts illusions try to hide, awaiting me in shining welcome and in readiness to give God's ancient messages to me. His memory abides in every gift that I receive of him, and every dream serves only to conceal the self, which is God's only Son, the likeness of himself, the Holy One who still abides in him forever, and as he still abides in me. Father, to you all sacrifice remains forever inconceivable, and so I cannot sacrifice except in dreams. As you created me, I can give up nothing you gave me. What you did not give has no reality. What loss can I anticipate except the loss of fear and the return of love into my mind? So I imagine that almost everyone begins A Course in Miracles with the idea that sacrifice is going to be required. I certainly did. My hope was that perhaps the sacrifice would not be too great. Imagine my surprise when I discovered it required that I sacrificed everything I thought I knew. And then imagine my relief when I realized that what I thought I knew was worthless, and so was not really a sacrifice at all. We sacrifice only illusions, and illusions are hardly worth anything. What we get in return is what the illusions hid from us. Under all those illusions is something so incredible that I hardly know how to talk about it. We discover ourself, our true self, God's only Son. When we think of ourselves as these bodies, it's almost impossible to take in what Jesus is telling us here. What does it even mean that we discover ourselves? Jesus says that we are the likeness of God, and we are the Holy One who still abides in God, and that he abides in us. Imagine this is true for you. Can you do it? It is incredible to imagine that we gave up knowing ourselves, our true self, in order to have this experience. More extraordinary is that we could think of it as a loss. Let's look at what we would lose in order to be what we are. To give up illusions, I would have to give up this limiting and frail body that is destined to die in a few years. Could that really be a loss? Without the body, I would never suffer, never be in pain, never feel separate and alone. Only bodies compete and so cannot truly love other bodies. Only bodies are driven to hatred and rage. Without a body, there's only oneness, love, peace, and freedom. Is there any reason to cling to the body? The only reason I can think of is that we have come to identify as a body. This means that we think we are our bodies, and to sacrifice a body is to sacrifice life. Yet how could this be? Bodies inevitably die, and death is not life. We're not even living, really, just dreaming of living. The only other fear of loss would be the self that we made to represent us. We can't remember what it is like to not to have a personal self. To us who are so attached to this personal self, It feels like annihilation to think of giving it up. But in reality, what we gain is a wonderful sense of connection, unlike anything we feel here. Loneliness is a word without meaning to ourself, and ourself is perfect, without flaws, something we certainly cannot say about our personal self. When we let go of this false identity, we will know ourselves as eternal spirit. We will suffer nothing and will live in bliss. It's not a bad deal, do you think? I'm all for it. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I'm enjoying making these, kind of new at this, so it's fun. I also want to mention that I'm going to be speaking for about an hour or so on Saturday in a Zoom room. If you would like to attend, you'd be so welcome. I'm going to share a link that will allow you to register for it should you decide to attend. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.